Each year, Merrill Lynch and Capgemini produce this report called the World Wealth Report, and I usually scan through it each year. And what it basically is it's a survey of high net worth individuals, people with over $1 million in investable assets. I imagine it's somewhat skewed because I think they're surveying their own clients. So there's some people who are in the stock market and some people are out of it, and this is a survey of the people that are in it. But what I find very interesting is that these wealthy people, that they split them up into, I think, high net worth individuals and maybe they call it ultra high net worth individuals. And almost every single year, one of the pieces of data they publish is how much of the investable assets of these people is put in different asset classes. And they don't really break up the asset classes that specifically. They just clump a lot of things into alternative assets. But what I find interesting is almost every year, all over the world, including the United States as its own segment, these wealthy people have about 50% or a little bit under 50% of their money in the stock market. And again, this is surveys of clients of basically a stockbroker. So I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who are wealthy who have absolutely no money in the stock market. And then when you get out there on Main Street and you just talk to more, you run up, you walk up to somebody and just start talking to them. They're probably not a high net worth individual. And this is a very small portion of the population. And so the more average type of person, when you talk to them, how much of your money is invested into stocks, bonds, and mutual funds and index funds? Almost all of their investable assets are. And tell me how that 50% mark, some years it's been, I think, as low as 34%. Tell me how that matches up to the reality that you've run into from some of your financial planning time spent.
You're right, Jeff, and I see that report every year, and I find it interesting, especially from where it originates.
Yeah.
But I've had the opportunity, fortunately, to work with some firms where we've worked with very high net worth individuals and families. And what I found very interesting is that a lot of these families have achieved phenomenal wealth from a variety of assets outside the stock market. And it's been owning a business or owning a lot of different types of real estate. And again, you look at the breakdown of the Forbes 400, for example, of the wealthiest individuals in the U.S., and all those people made money by owning or starting a business, like Bill Gates, capturing an idea and then taking it public, or the rest of them made money by owning and developing real estate. And those are the two primary ways people make money. You really don't see anybody on there who said, hey, I'm on the Forbes 400 list because I day traded my E-Trade account. So I find it kind of a juxtaposition that the middle market America is kind of trapped, if you will, to their only outlet really is kind of mutual funds, unless they kind of say, hey, I don't want to be trapped there. I can understand some of these rules, and I would like to open my retirement account and do other things, because frankly, that's how really wealthy people make money. They don't have all their assets just in the stock market. Unfortunately, most of middle America does, and that's just because the way the system and the drivers behind the institutions want to focus people's money in that area. But really wealthy families around the world have assets spread out over a lot of alternative assets in real estate in different asset classes, and frankly, that's how they build wealth, and that's how they preserve it and maintain it.
Yeah, this may be an oversimplified approach, but I've always taken the perspective of, when I identify somebody who has the results that I want, I just want to copy them. Because if they did something and got a good result, and I do something different, I might not get that result. If I do exactly what they did, there's a pretty good chance they'll get that result. So, I think there's a lot to learn from this World Wealth Report. It may be like 30 pages. I don't know if somebody wants to read all the text, but I'd recommend somebody just type it into Google, find one from any of the recent years, and they just at least look at some of the main charts.